to be doing something that I don't typically do, but the amount of stupidity that is being spread in this video, I had to just do a response. Okay, I had to do a response. So we're gonna respond to one of DaphneReloaded's videos. I have been watching Daphne Reloaded for a while now. Originally I took her side because you know, I was kind of a meathead, and I was kind of like anti-vegan, and then I was introduced to CheapLazyVegan through her, and I thought it was kind of funny when she'd get all angry and pissed off at her like cooking and stuff, but DaphneReloaded has taken it to the point of bullying CheapLazyVegan, and I am stepping in, and I'm gonna, you know, try and clarify this a little more. Now, I do have some experience with some dietitians. My mother, she works at a hospital with dietitians, and so I am familiar with general like nutritional needs. So we are going to go over this here.
Doing the annual get together to like just relax and have a fun time and
just hang out, talk, catch up.
Yeah. I was thrilled to be able to go with my friends to our annual get together.
It makes it seem as though...
Okay, so this is the video that I think she just uploaded this today. It is CheapLazyVegan admits she hates being vegan. Her hostility against other vegans grows. Must watch. Maybe I can explain this a little bit for you, Daphne, since you're a little too dense to figure it out. So let's full screen this and go through this.
The whole vegan movement is very restrictive, and we have all these health problems. Veganism is restrictive, and you do have all of those health problems.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. Veganism is a restrictive diet, but is no more restrictive than a cholesterol, a low cholesterol diet, or a renal diet. You know, there's various restrictive diets that are healthy and benefit people with different physical ailments. So like, say somebody suffers with chronic high cholesterol, a vegan diet can be very beneficial to them because there's virtually no cholesterol in a vegan diet. So it is a very healthy diet, even though you do need supplementation on a vegan diet. For the most part, it can be a very healthy diet for people with high cholesterol. And you know, you can have a very balanced vegan diet. You know, we'll get more into that later. But yes, it can be a healthy diet to have a vegan diet.
Hate about being vegan, and this is probably the biggest thing. It is, I can't even say it. Like, why can't I say it? I don't know. It's being associated with raw veganism. So I don't have a problem with people, you know, deciding to eat a raw plant-based diet, but what annoys me is that so many people associate the very restrictive diet of a raw plant-based eater to a vegan lifestyle. And we need to just No. My diet cannot be more cooked. Me and a raw vegan, we have literally completely different diets. I actually probably have more in common with somebody that eats meat than a raw vegan, if that makes sense. I just hate when we are coupled into the same category, we're put into the same box as raw veganism and also other types of restrictive eating patterns. It makes it seem as though the whole vegan movement is very restrictive and we have all these health problems. Raw plant-based diets are extremely restrictive. Okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're only eating raw fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and not much else. Like, let's be fucking honest. It's gonna be very difficult for you to A, even get enough calories, and B, actually get enough nutrients. I genuinely believe this. I know there are exceptions to the rule.
She just admitted that eating fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds is not enough. It cannot give you enough food.
Yeah, Daphne, because in a cooked vegan diet, there is legumes and, pastas, breads, rice, grains, and those are all calorie dense. And you don't get that same calorie impact in a raw vegan diet. I mean, it just makes so much sense. Like, if you're just gonna go out there and eat grass and pine cones and bark, you're not going to get enough nutrients. But if you cook some of those grains in the grass and eat them, you're going to get more nutrients. It's just logic. So, I mean, even in the evolution of human beings, what made our brains grow so exponentially fast is our ability to cook. That's why gorillas have bitty brains compared to us, because they don't cook their food. And humans, as we mastered the art of fire and cooking, we were able to increase the caloric and nutrient values of our food. I mean, just take corn, for example. Corn, when you cook it, is so much more nutrient dense. Beans, you can't eat beans when they are raw, but when you cook them, they are so nutrient dense. They're so good for you. Beans are so essential for pregnant women. Okay, we are going on.
Sustain yourself enough nutrients. It cannot make you feel full. She just admitted this, okay? However, if vegans are naturally frugivores, then a raw vegan diet is correct. It absolutely is, okay? What she is actually saying here in this video is that she doesn't want to associate with people who don't eat fake meat. She doesn't want to associate with people who do not eat the way that she eats, which is a lot.
She did not say anything about not associating with people that don't eat fake meat. She's just saying she doesn't want to associate with people that only eat uncooked foods. Do you not understand the correlation between that? It's like you can just increase the calories so much by cooking, adding a little bit of oil, adding cooked grains and cooked legumes, which those you can't have grains and legumes in a raw diet. I mean, you can soak the grains, but it's not going to be as caloric dense as if you cook it with some oil. And even cooking the grains puts more nutrients in the grains because of the process of cooking. It changes the chemical composition of the grains. Greatest example is corn. Corn has so much more nutrients once you've cooked it.
Fucking soy and tofu and fake meat. She only wants to be associated with people who eat that way. So I want you to think very deeply about what she's saying here. If raw veganism is incorrect, yet veganism is not restrictive in her terms, then the only thing separating her diet from raw vegan's diet is her fried Chinese foods, her noodles.
And we're gonna stop it right there. She's Korean, not Chinese, so she's being hella racist and ignorant there by saying, oh, her fried Chinese foods. Excuse me, you are so, like, ignorant, and you just, that's just so dumb, so racist. Like, you're automatically cut off and, like, canceled right there when you said that. And you repeat it several times there. And you watch her videos, she clearly states that she's Korean. She clearly says that she cooks lots of Korean food. I mean, Korea is, like, separated by ocean from China. Like, yeah, no, it's not the same country. I mean, do you know what a map is? I thought you were a nurse. Clearly you're not.
Breads, basically her breads and her pastas, okay? Maybe a few beans. Basically a bunch of cooked lectins is what is separating her diet from a raw vegan diet. And she said that she believes that her diet is more in alignment with somebody who eats meat than who is a raw vegan. However, that's not true. Because a raw vegan diet and a cooked vegan diet are both cholesterol free and depend on supplements. You cheap, lazy vegan depend.
That's fine if it's cholesterol free. Sorry. It is fine if it's I can't say it. It's fine if it's cholesterol free, because you know what? Your body produces cholesterol. You don't even have to eat cholesterol. I mean, cholesterol can be beneficial, especially for young developing children, but your liver, as you're an adult, makes the majority of the cholesterol your body needs. Now, vegan diets can be very difficult for children, although sometimes children can survive off of a vegan diet, but it is not really recommended unless you're very well trained in nutrition. But, you know, it can happen. You know, it isn't natural for a human to eat a vegan diet. I'm never saying that it's natural for a human to eat a vegan diet, but it is sustainable. People have been doing it since before the invention of supplements. Like, people used nutritional yeast to get vitamin B12, and people used you know, seaweed to get omega-3s and stuff like that. So there's nothing saying that people can't live off of a vegan diet. Children, you want to be careful with children on a vegan diet, because children on a vegan diet, children need dairy. Dairy is very crucial for children. So I would suggest, if you do have a child, raise it on a vegetarian diet, but I'm not a dietitian, so I would talk to your dietitian over me. But yeah, let's continue.
On supplements. But this is where it gets really interesting. As the backtracking begins, you see, she doesn't like raw veganism. She doesn't want to be associated with raw veganism. But it's okay if you're a raw vegan. She wants to make that clear. It's okay, right? She only wants to be associated with people.
It's okay because everybody has their own choices to make.
And this whole video is her trashing vegans and veganism, but at the end of it, she says that she hates ex-veganism and anti-veganism, and she doesn't understand why people would trash veganism. She just spent 30 minutes trashing veganism, but she doesn't understand why other people would trash veganism. She hates all vegans, but she doesn't understand why
She's only trashing the very, very restrictive vegans. Most vegans aren't restrictive whatsoever. They will eat whatever they can get in their mouths. I mean, I don't mean that, like, okay, so, like, they'll eat whatever's vegan. Like, most vegans don't care if it's, 100% organic and, like, grass, I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say. Most vegans don't care about the specific details. They just want something that is cruelty-free and fills them up and is substantial. And I have been watching CheapLazyVegan for several months now. She has excellent nutrition. She even shows her lab results. Her lab results are excellent. I don't remember how her iron was, but being that she eats a lot of legumes, I figure her iron is probably okay. But she seems to have excellent nutrition, probably one of the best vegan diets I've ever seen. So I really respect her.
Everybody hates other vegans, okay? Very interesting that she backtracks on every single statement that she makes, okay? Listen closely.
So this is future me speaking. Almost done editing, but I felt the need to step in and make a little post-filming appearance, if you will. Because I feel like I sound like a bit of an itch bee in this video, an itch with a bee. I'm kind of ranting, and I think I got a little emotional. So I wanted to make sure that I added in this little message that I'm really not trying to, like, hate on someone for eating raw, because if that's what they want to do, like, whatever, at least you're still not harming anyone.
Yeah, let people eat whatever they want to eat.
But
Like,
what I don't like is being associated with it. When veganism, the whole movement of veganism, gets associated with, like, the raw diet.
I don't want to be associated with other vegans.
yeah, because you're making, like, all these harassing videos targeting her all the time. So she doesn't want to be associated with these raw vegans that you keep making fun of, because she's got a very healthy diet.
So a lot of people that, might be against veganism use raw vegans as an example of, bad health. And they just conveniently leave out the healthy vegans, like, hi, I'm here, hello, hi. Second thing,
I know lots of healthy vegans, so
this whole thing is that when people cannot,
just because all you ate was kale salads and you got kidney stones doesn't mean that's what other vegans do, okay?
But I do wish that more people, rather than say veganism didn't work, recognize that it is at least potentially their restrictive patterns that did not work. So that's the second thing that I wanted to reiterate. I understand that maybe it is true that vegan diet doesn't work for every single person, but I do think that, it's not a coincidence that a lot of people that claim that veganism didn't work also followed very restrictive forms of a vegan diet. So that's another thing that bugs me. And
this is another thing that bugs me, is that you're a vegan and you're saying that you don't like restrictive diets when veganism is a restrictive diet, and all I watch you eat is the same shit over and over.
Veganism is not a restrictive diet. The only thing that is restrictive about veganism, you can't have animal products. Wow, have you ever seen a renal diet? Renal diets are like the most restrictive diets I've ever seen. Like, you can't have anything other than so much white chicken breast, and I think you can have, like, a little bit of fish. I'm not positive about that, though. That might have too much salt in it. And you can have, like, only certain vegetables. You can't have, like, any salt. You can't have, like, you're, like, restricted and you can't have so much liquid on a renal diet. Like, it is ridiculous. So if you think that vegans are restrictive, why don't you try a renal diet? Or here's something a little easier for you. Why don't you try a bland diet, huh? Maybe you can do that one. Just eat some banana